Hi, my name is Olivia Winter, and today we'll be doing a mini flow that will really set the basics for typical vinyasa classes, and we'll light a little bit of a fire in our body, get our blood pumping. So before we get started, you can go ahead and grab some blocks, maybe some books, a chair if you have one. If you're a little bit tight or need a little help with balance, they can help prop you up in these poses. Now, as we get started, we're going to start in the middle of our mat in child's pose. So if you need a little bit, you need a little bit more room, you can send your legs out wide, or if you want a little bit more support in your back, you can keep your feet close, or your legs close together, and you just send your arms out long towards the front of your mat and let your forehead come to the top of your mat. Really breathe in this pose, connecting your body and your breath together. You can even activate the Ujjayi breath by tightening the muscles at the back of your throat. It should sound a little bit like ocean waves. In this pose, try and match your breaths for each other, making them equal in length. We'll take one more inhale here. Fully exhale, let it all sigh out. Very good. Let's go ahead and come up to a tabletop position. You're going to have your knees under your hips and your shoulders above your wrists. While you're here, make sure that your pointer fingers are facing forward and you're really engaging through your hands, making sure that the weight is evenly distributed between all your fingers, engaging in those knuckles like you're gripping the ground. This will help as you engage your hand muscles. It really helps engage your entire arm, really protecting your wrists and elbows. Try and make sure that your back is flat. You could even push a little ground through your shoulder blades a little bit. But we'll just practice our weight distribution here. So you can go ahead and make some circles with your body, just feeling out the weight distribution in your fingers and trying to keep the tension in your fingers, keeping all your knuckles engaged. So go one direction, and then we'll circle back the other direction. We really want to make sure as we go through this small vinyasa flow, we're going to be on our wrists a lot. So we're going to make sure we're not dumping our weight in our wrists, and we can do that by making sure that all of our fingers are engaged. So you're going to come back to the neutral position. Again, making sure your shoulder isn't over like your fingertips, over your wrist. And from here, we're going to press our toes into the ground. And we're really going to push our hips back into the sky for downward facing dog. Really even engaging your belly, your stomach muscles, bringing them all the way back with your hips. When you're in this position, again, make sure that your pointer fingers are forward, your hands are engaged, and your inner arms are pressing out towards the front of your mat. It can really help from dumping all your weight in your wrists. While you're here, make sure your belly or your belly button is being pulled towards your spine. You might find that you're a little tight here, so your heels would come off the ground. If that is the case, go ahead and put a bend in your knee so you can keep your back flat. And as you're gaining your arms, it'll help from dumping all your body into your upper arms and just keep in a straight line. Again, make sure you're connecting with your breath. Inhaling and out and exhaling, making them even, really feeling out. You can start going up tippy toes of one, pedaling out your legs, just getting some feeling in the pose, connecting your breath to the movement of your body. A couple more inhales and exhales here. Making sure you're, again, keeping the weight evenly distributed all the way through your fingertips. And on the next inhale, go ahead and lower your heels. Try pressing them, even if you keep your bend in your knees, just sending them deep into the ground. On exhale, we're going to move into plank pose. So some of us might have to replace our feet so that our heels are going to be above our toes, our shoulders above our wrists. Instead of making sure we're not dumping into our body, pressing through our hands, and even maybe doming our back here, staying nice and strong on those toes. Engaging in your breath, activating your inner thighs, even like lifting your knees, maybe even squeezing your bum together, your butt cheeks. Really staying engaged here. Now, as we move forward, we can modify this and press our knees to the ground. As we move into chaturanga, we will let go of our feet. As we move down into chaturanga, we're going to bend our elbows, but keeping them close to our body. Like we're doing a push-up, but it's not a traditional push-up. So as you lower down, you're going to want your wrists to come, or your elbows to come over your wrists, keeping your shoulder tips up. As you come even, you can let your body, even your belly, go to the ground. Letting your forehead come to the ground, catching your breath here. On an exhale, you'll lift into cobra pose. Make sure that your tops of your feet are pressing into the ground. Your thighs are engaged and your knees are lifting. Just like in plank, our whole upper body is engaged, even our core. As we press up with our fingers, we're bringing our shoulders down and back, really broadening through our collarbones and letting it rise. You might just stay on your ribs here. Maybe you feel a little more flexible in your back. And if you're looking for more of a challenge, you can come out of cobra and into up dog. So what you'll do is really engage the tops of your feet, straighten through your arms, and lift your legs off the ground. Again, making sure that your collarbones are broadened and your shoulder blades are coming down your back. Reevaluate your hands, make sure you're keeping even weight throughout all of your fingers. And maybe you will bring your head up, look up, breathe in. And on the exhale, we're going to push back using our abs into downward facing dog, coming up over our toes. And again, pushing back, feeling that weight distribution through our hands. You're probably sweating a little bit like I am. You can pedal through your feet. Since you've been on your hands for so long, go ahead and walk your hands up. Remember to keep breathing. Or walk your hands to meet your toes. Excuse me. While you're here, you can put a little bend in your knees. We'll grab opposite elbows. Maybe sway a little bit. Your wrists might be a little bit tired. And that's great. And just breathe here. In and out, letting your neck and head relax. Again, if you need to put that bend in your knees. Even on the next inhale, go ahead and engage a little bit in your upper legs. It might cause them to straighten. And you can slowly release your arms and vertebrae by vertebrae, come all the way up to standing. Breathing in and out. Coming into Dandasana, let your hands face outward. Shoulder blades come down and back. And breathe in here. Inhale and exhale. On your inhale, go ahead and bring your arms up. Let your gaze follow, maybe testing your balance a little bit here. And exhale. Very nice. So we're going to go ahead and walk to the top of our mat. Again, inhale, let your gaze follow with your arms. And exhale, we're gonna send our arms back down and bend at our hips. Coming to a forward fold again. Inhale and exhale, you can keep a bend in your knees. And on your inhale, come to a flat back. You can use blocks here to support yourself, or you can put your hands on the floor, your ankles, your shins, even your thighs. Just make sure that your knees aren't hyperextending and that your back is staying flat. You're not rounding through your lower back. And breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And on the next exhale, bend your knees again and place your palms on the floor, making sure that your pointer fingers are facing forward. And go ahead and walk back into downward facing dog. Very good. Breathe in, breathe out. Go ahead and lower onto your knees. Again, you can untuck your toes, you can keep them engaged, but your knees are going to be under your hips and your shoulders are going to be above your wrists, keeping your pointed fingers still facing out and evenly distributed. Point here, we're going to try and connect a little bit more with our breath through some cat-cow. So as you inhale, you're going to bring your shoulders down, bring your tailbone up, and drop your belly as your gaze comes forward. And on your exhale, we're going to round to cat. If you need to, if your knees ever hurt, you can put a blanket on the floor to support your knees a little bit more, add a little bit more cushion. And inhale, and then inhale again for cow. Bring that tailbone to the sky, broadening through your collarbones and letting your gaze follow. And exhale, really bringing that belly button into your spine, tucking your pelvis into your chin. And inhale. We're going to do one more cow. And exhale. And inhale, you can send your hips back to your heels. You can move the blanket out of the way. And we're going to send our hips to the side and then let our feet come forward. Shake out the legs. If you have a strap or a towel nearby, you can go ahead and grab that. We're going to fold over our feet here. Do a forward fold. So as you inhale, find length in your spine, lift your arms overhead. And as you exhale, bend at your hips, send the crown of your forehead out to your toes. You can grab that strap, wrap it around your feet. And just breathe here for a second. I'm just going to stretch out our hip strength a little bit. Now each pose is different, so you might feel this somewhere, feel a little bit of tightness somewhere different. Just remember to breathe through any tightness that you might feel. Relaxing your head and your neck and your shoulders. A few more breaths here. Inhale and exhale, nice and long. And the next exhale, go ahead and unhook your strap and come to a seated position. Place our hands by our hips. We're just going to send our feet out long in front of us. And we're going to come to a Shavasana. So slowly, if you need to, you can bend your knees and grab them. But lower your back onto the ground. Now as you come into Shavasana, you can always grab a blanket that you can roll up and put under your neck or under your knees, whatever you feel needs more support for your body. We're going to relax, let your hands come to your sides, and breathe here. If you're comfortable enough, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and just feel that a relaxed wave move over your body, starting with your toes, letting go of any tension you feel from your toes all the way up to your knees and your hips, to your low back, all the way up to your chest. Let go of your breath, let it flow freely. Moving through your fingers, up your arms to your shoulders. Go ahead and tuck your right shoulder under your back and then your left shoulder. Releasing the tension that you feel there and all the way up to your neck. As we come to your jaw, release any tension there, in your eyes, and your forehead. While you're here, if any thoughts come, let them pass through without any judgment. Just relax into the pose, letting both thoughts and breath flow freely. We'll be here for a little while longer, for about 2 minutes. And come on back. Start to feel some movement through your toes, fingers, moving your body. Come back slowly. When you feel comfortable, you can move onto one side, fetal position. Stay there for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, come to a seated position, comfortable seated position on your mat. Keep your eyes closed, if you feel comfortable. And really just feel into your body, and when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes.